Alright, first things first, I'm gonna need y'all to go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I post in there a pretty decent amount. And second, I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and subscribe and like for more content on this channel. Now run my intro. Alright, so I wanted to do this video yesterday, but of course, it was impossible to get Baal up to what I wanted her to be. And I know I already did a video with Eula and Baal, and that's a cool team. That's a crazy good team to run. But I'm not gonna lie, thing with physical DPS, I get bored. I 100% get bored. So today we're gonna be looking at a different team. And this team, this isn't even like my final team, nothing. I'm literally just using it to test different numbers. And that's mainly because of the debate between having attack artifacts or having the energy recharge slash elemental damage. So we're gonna look at this first, and we're going to see that. Alright, so with Baal, if we go here, right now I've only got our level 70. That's pretty much all you need her to test her so that I have the passive talent. So the first artifact set that we're using in this video, which I'll have clips on right here. This is what I was running right here. So the flower, I thought you've seen this. This flower isn't bad at all. I actually like this one quite a bit. The flower, again, isn't that bad. I have choices, but I would rather have the recharge than the crit rate because the crit damage isn't that high. Of course, if the crit damage was way higher, I would be using the one that also gives me crit rate. But for now, this is going to work out, and you'll see. So for the first test, we're going to be using attack sands, which is pretty terrible, but we're just testing stuff out. And then we're also going to be using an attack goblet, which is a lot of builds that people have been looking at. Is for some reason people don't try double attack ones, which I feel like from using them, they seem like they do quite a bit. So I would like to try these out 100%. And then the second one that we're going to be using is going to be when we're running Electro damage bonus, which is going to be it's a terrible one, but it has Electro damage bonus. And then we're going to be using energy recharge right here. If we use the first one, the stats over here, we end up with 2100 attack, which is going to make the biggest difference. Still got 61%, 100. I know that's not good, but this is just to test things out. Energy recharge is still above 200%, which is what you should be aiming for. And then if you go down here, we get 54% electro damage bonus, which is why a lot of people are questioning why you wouldn't use electro damage bonus. Is because if you run one, you literally get more electro damage bonus by running just 2 attack ones, but having a decent amount of energy recharge in the end, than if you just take off the attack and end up using electro damage bonus. So that's why it's hard to like decide which way, and this also depends on the weapon and things like that. Different teams. Now I'm using this team, but I'm also using Skyward Spine, so you don't have to worry about, because I know most people won't have her weapon. And most people probably won't have Skyward Spine, but people are more likely to have Skyward Spine over her weapon because obviously it's much, much older. And then of course, if we go over here and switch over to the other one, which would be the energy recharge and the electro damage bonus, our stats end up going down to about 1200 attack, which is, it's pretty bad. And also 58%, which is just about the exact, like 1% crit damage difference is not going to change anything. It's not. Now we do get a little bit more energy recharge, obviously, if we're gonna end up running that. The crit rate goes down just a little bit, but that's not too much, especially when it's only 100% crit damage. And then this is the biggest difference, electro damage bonus, which, and then people start acting and trying to figure out, could I run this, or I could run attack without the energy recharge if you have enough on a 5-star weapon especially. Then you end up having 1700 damage, but you still end up with a little bit lower crit damage. Obviously that's because of my stats. Lower energy recharge, but still above 200%, and still the electro damage. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, it's 100% better to have this, have an attack, and then have this third one right here. If you run electro damage bonus and attack, I feel like that's like, that one's, I'm not even a, I tested it, and it's much better than running energy recharge, because as you get to a certain point, once it's at 200% energy recharge, there's not a huge difference unless you're getting near to about 300%. If you can get 300% without making attack absolutely terrible, go ahead, 100%. That's gonna be a crazy build, especially if you have her weapon specifically. But if your build is anything like mine, which most people's right now are going to be like this or worse, yeah, go ahead, run attack and then electro damage bonus. So that the new fight is towards, is it better to run double attack or attack electro damage bonus? So yeah, let's get into the test. Alright, so this first one right here is going to be our double attack percentage build, which is going to be the one that is probably the most asked about, because it doesn't seem like a normal thing to run at all. Like, you would almost, I really don't think there's any other character in the game where I would run double attack percentage. But we look at this, we use the same combo, same team for both ones, so there's no difference except for a little bit in crit damage, but it's not a, you'll see once you see the numbers on this. This, I'm literally just trying to get Zhongli's ult up, which goes up super fast because obviously Baal is insane when it comes to your recharge. Use his ult, we want to get her resolve up. We're going to use Bennett, and then we use his E first, which makes a big difference if you use E and Q. 57,000. Now, her ult is at level 6. You saw the stats. Crit damage is pretty bad. The crit damage is pretty bad, but we're still managing to get 57,000. Now, a lot of people will be saying, oh, 57,000 isn't a lot, but the thing is, you're gonna be running her as a support most of the time. If you want to build her as a DPS, which, if you're running her as a DPS, you're most likely not watching this video, because you would have to get her some constellations for sure if you want a really good DPS ball. But yeah, for the most part, support, doing 57,000 at level 6 talents and only 102% crit damage, that's a pretty insane amount for, and she's only level 70. So this definitely gets better. But if we go over here, and I'm gonna go to the next clip now. Alright, so, and again, the one with the energy recharge slash electro damage bonus did about 31,000, which was, again, that's already a 26,000 damage difference with the exact same crit damage, just a different build completely. But that's already, for me, that's like, yeah, no, because the energy recharge wasn't higher either. So it's like, or not high enough. It's like, it just doesn't seem worth it at all. So I wouldn't run this one. So this one is gonna be the attack and electro damage bonus. So most of the time, I'm almost never running energy recharge specifically, and this, again, one of the biggest things that people are not going to get is that there's never going to be a video saying this is the best ball, because it's the way she plays. It's very, very situational, and this, a lot of this depends on which weapon you're running. If you're running energy recharge and you have 200% from not using it, you're almost never going to want to use also energy recharge sands. You're not going to want to do that because you have enough to where the trade-off for energy recharge and attack isn't, it's not good enough. You would want to just run the attack. But yeah, this is the one that's going to be the one that's got close. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad in any way. But yeah, we go here, use his ults. She ends up going 42,000, which, again, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Doing 42,000 with only mediocre is not bad. But again, it's a 15,000 damage bonus difference, and only about, it was 4%. crit damage difference. So again, that's a huge difference just because I have 2100 attack instead of 1700 attack, but I have more energy recharge. So this ends up being like, I don't know. This seems to be a given to me that if you want the most consistent numbers, and bro, I know people are going to get mad at it because a lot of people are going to want a video saying this is the best, and again, you're not going to be able to do that. She doesn't work that way. But yeah, if you want the most consistent numbers, not always the best numbers, but the numbers that are always going to at least be good, and you can get 200% energy recharge from substats, I would always recommend running attack percentage on both. Just because, first of all, they're much easier to get those artifacts than trying to get a really good energy recharge slash electro damage bonus one. Those are the luck you have to have. But yeah, attack percentage is going to give you the most consistent across all weapons and characters, even if it's not always the highest numbers. But yeah, I hope this helped at least a little bit so that people keep on, because I see a bunch of videos where people will explain almost the same thing, but they will make it seem like all of them cannot have like a common ground. But you can. If you run double attack, you're always going to have good numbers. But even if they're not the highest, but they're not going to be that far off. Because a lot of it depends on the weapon. If you're using her weapon, you're going to be running different stats. If you're going to use Skyward Spine, you're going to be using different stats. If you're going to use the catch, you're again going to be using different stats. And it also depends on the characters. If you're running Kujosara and Bennett, you may not need that attack because their attack gets boosted so much. But if you're just using Bennett or just using Kujosara, or if you're not using any of them, you're going to want more attack. But yeah, hope this video helped a little bit. I'm not the kind of person to do all these insane like math equations for this type of game. That's never going to be my type of video because I feel like the majority of people don't care about that type of stuff. They just want to give me a build that works well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me in the comments if you would think that this was at least a little helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.